History. I think the longer you play against someone and the harder they are as opponents, the bigger you can build up this a rivalry steeped in history. And they've respected South African rugby forever. For South Africans, to beat New Zealand was always a massive, massive challenge. And the sacrifice is nothing. It's absolutely no. It's what you actually look forward to. You look forward to getting the opportunity to play against these guys. And the quality of the rugby they play is so exciting. They've always played a brand of rugby of ball in hand. And South Africa has always had big, powerful, physical players who have the ability to stop them and to have the ability to beat them, not at their own game, but at our game. I think that's what makes it very exciting. It was the first time I coached the Springboks against the All Blacks. It was away from home. It's a big challenge to go over there and say, listen, we're going to beat these blokes. But I sincerely believed it. I think it's the very first team meeting before we get on the bus that I actually didn't say anything. I just got there and saying, guys, we're getting on the bus. I don't have to say anything. I mean, the feeling you could... It was electric. The enthusiasm and the tension and the expectation that team had going into that game, they just didn't think they were going to lose to the All Blacks. It's a wonderful position to be in as a coach because the work's been done. It's over to them.
Plenty of action in the opening 7 minutes of the Test match.
What I clearly remember about that game was how absolutely confident I was that our backline was going to counter their backline. We had in Joost van der Westhuizen and Henry Honeyball, Pieter Muller and Andries Snyman, we had 4 men cast in stone. I mean, if they took their shirts off, they were granite. And these guys, they could bring Jonah Lomu, they could bring Little and whoever they wanted. They could bring them into any gap, we would smash them. And that's exactly what happened. Our defense was exceptional. 2 of them were from counter-attack. We smashed them. Snyman picked the ball up and almost scored.
With a sleight of hand, but Snyman's away with all his pace.
Another one, Percy took an up and under and counter-attacked.
Beautiful from Montgomery. Now here's a chance for the Springboks.
So we really were confident in playing.
Here's Montgomery's kick. Looks pretty good. First points of the game. Penalty goal for South Africa.
I had a tremendous amount of respect for Henry Honeyball, particularly on defence. He was one of the greatest defensive fly-offs the world has ever seen. And I said to him, listen, Lem, they called him, Leamington Blade, he used to cut people down. And Lem, I said, try and think up a move that you'd struggle to defend against. And I just said it like that. And I said, if you get one, just tell me. I'd forgotten I'd even asked him this question. And I remember it was on the bus just before the start of the team's practice. He came over, he said, Coach, I've got one. And I said, what do you got? And he said, I've got a move. You asked me about a move. He's like that, Lem. He says, nothing for 10 days. Then he came. So I said, okay, great, tell me. So come the game, it had to be on the left-hand side of the field with a left-hand scrum, and it had to be reasonably close to their line.
Well, it's a Springbok term to have an attacking scrum. I think this is the first scrum they've had inside the All Black 20.
And the Westhuizen, Honeyball. Oh, big gap! Pieter Rossouw!
But the timing was so extraordinary, the timing of his delivery, dummy to Joost, and then delivery to Peter. Peter always on the blind side and sneaking late so they never saw him. And there was dead silence. I thought there must have been a forward pass because the crowd went dead quiet. And I just heard, oh, expletive, no, from their box. And I just knew then. The ref was there, you just heard a whistle, a loud whistle.
Henry Honeyball in with a stop.
A simple move.
And that's how to score from set play.
What I loved about it was no one else had done that move before. No one. It was the first time it was done by a Springbok team, certainly, and the All Blacks had never seen it before. It's absolutely fantastic. I just want to tell you, after the game, went into the shower, and there I saw in the shower walking around and around in a circle was 𝙤𝙤𝙪𝙩𝙗𝙪. And he was saying, they can't take this away from me. They can't take this away from me. And I said, what can't they take away from me, Len? They said, they'll never take this victory away from me. I'll have this for all of my life. I'll have this victory. Isn't that wonderful? That a player, it meant so much to him that he knew that in 25, 35 years' time, he could say, I was there. I was part of that victory. And as I said, you know, you can win a test on just one move that comes up on the Wednesday before a game. It's the Everest of rugby to beat the New Zealanders away from home. And for a team that I coached to do it, seeing how much it meant to the players is, you know, is really humbling as a coach.
That's it! It really was a monumental struggle.